Hey everybody, I thought I'd come outside this time. It's bright out here. I'll probably be squinting through the whole video. Anyways, I wanted to talk about how money makes money or how it doesn't. So back in 2010 or it was 2011, I got an email about something called Bitcoin and I deleted it. And I remember laughing like, Jesus, another scam. Digital currency, really? So I just want to talk about like lost opportunities. And I know that even if I bought that Bitcoin for $1 each 15 years ago, probably would have been stolen, like from that Sam Psycho from FTX. Or some other exchange. I think there were others back then that stole billions of dollars from people and were shut down. So really there's no shortcut. So in 2016, my wife and I moved to San Francisco for 2 years. And I remember asking her if we can buy or invest in crypto. And of course she said no. And I was a yes man back then. Obviously I'm not now because I got divorced 6 years ago. But I remember looking at Ripple, XRP, in 2016, it was like 2 for a penny. You know, each one was 0.005 each. And my wife was controlling the finances, so I couldn't buy it. And of course, today it's $2.50. And I remember going to a gold shop in San Francisco, and the owner told me that a lot of CEOs in Silicon Valley, they go to him and buy real gold in exchange for Bitcoin. So if these people are buying their Bitcoin from a foreign exchange, they're escaping taxes, man. I mean, it's brilliant. I think Coinbase didn't even have taxes back then with the IRS, but I think that started a few years ago. So it was kind of an eye-opener for me. Man, everything's like the Wild West, you know? Just trying to find ways to bypass the system or whatever. But I thought that was ingenious that these guys were buying real gold in exchange for Bitcoin. So in early 2020, when COVID started, I was divorced a year prior, or actually a couple months prior. And I bought some Ripple for like 15 cents. I bought a lot of it. 58,000 Ripple cost me like $8,800. And of course I couldn't afford it at the time. So a week later I sold it all on Coinbase. And unfortunately, when I sold it, it went to some other blockchain on Coinbase. It wasn't USD coin or whatever it's called, where I can withdraw it to my bank account. It fucking went to some blockchain. So I called Coinbase. Oh, this really pisses me off. I called Coinbase and they're like, oh, they're sorry, there's nothing we can do for you. And they gave me some long address. And I'm like, can't you just pull it from this address, wherever the fuck this is, and put the money back in my Coinbase account? And they said, no, sorry. So I got desperate because now my $8,800 is somewhere in the cyber black hole of crypto. And I Googled, help with my crypto, Coinbase, blah, blah, blah. And I saw an 800 number, so I called it. I got these people on the phone. And what I did was, I was so desperate, I let them ghost my computer, which was the dumbest thing in the world. I was just so desperate. So they got into my computer with the address, and they actually stole my 58,000 Ripple and hung up on me. And then when I tried to call back that number, it was disconnected. Yeah. True story. And I'd love for anybody out there to share their stories as well. Just comment, please. It was very naive of me. And now I see why the elderly get attacked by thieves and scumbags in the world, because they're vulnerable. they're so old that when someone tells them something, they think maybe it's true, and then these thieves steal their money. I mean, there's just corruption worldwide, and it's really pathetic. I am an optimist, though, and I never quit. And if hindsight is 20/20, then this is very frustrating. So in 1998, I was living at my parents' house, and my dad and I would always open up the LA Times paper, throw it on the kitchen table, and I would always run to the stock section because I was following eBay and Amazon at the time. And I remember seeing Amazon at $2 a share in 1998. And I talked about it with my dad too, but I didn't have a pot to piss in. So of course I did not invest in any of it. Another missed opportunity. And then in 2002, I started working for a freight company. And one day the CEO and I drove to a beverage company in Corona called Hanson's Beverage. You've probably heard of them. They make fruit drinks. And I actually met Rodney Sachs, who's the founder of Monster. Yep, Hanson's Beverage turned into Monster like 2 or 3 years later. But in 2002, when I met him, their stock was like I think it was like under $2 a share, and the company was only worth $100 million. And now what? They're, I don't know, 50, 60 billion. And I was there. I was in their manufacturing facility. I saw how incredibly amazing it looked, how efficient it looked with all their machinery and bottling and just everything. But I didn't have any money when I was, 29. Another missed opportunity. In 1999, I remember following the Apple stock when it was $1 a share on the verge of bankruptcy before they came out with the iPod for music. And I remember talking to my dad about it a couple years later. I think it was 2004 when iPod came out. And I said, Dad, let's just put like 15 grand into Apple. We didn't do it. It's like money's just never readily available. But I remember Apple was on the verge of bankruptcy. Then I remember Netflix was $1 a share in early 2000, right before Blockbuster collapsed. And I was following it, Netflix. Yep, it's just missed opportunities, And when you buy securities through emotion, that is a bad decision. And then, of course, it's hard to hold on forever. But you do hear these crazy success stories. Of course, never from me, but, it's out there. It's definitely out there. I've learned the hard way, buying stocks and crypto at the wrong time, never holding. So all this shit just motivated me to make this B-roll. It's called Money Makes Money. And I want you to watch it and share your stories. I'd love to hear it. Anyways, I'm going back inside to work. I'm on my rooftop in my building. I can't walk very far because my customers always have emergencies. Anyway, see you on the next. Work won't get you rich. You're just a slave, a tick. You suck the blood out of the system. Your income is made to just barely survive. That's why they call it a job, just over broke. But money makes money, so while you're still alive, buy some stocks and hold steady. Freedom from the grind is on my mind. Take a grand, buy some security, and one day you'll be in Wonderland. But that's what I am, a demented dreamer, just a slave, a busy bee, a worker bee trying to find honey for the almighty queen. From rags to riches. No more swimming in the trenches. From slave to master, this is the only answer. Don't give up on the dream. One day you will redeem. Stay in the trench and keep grinding. Keep fighting and stop whining. For the love of money is the root to evil. It created all this insanity. Legalized gambling at its best, everyone hustling to abduct your nest. The house has the edge, just like a casino. Market makers manipulate to ensure you sell just before they steal your yield. Mind of a day trader placing daily bets. Betting on stockbrokers preaching strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Any way you see it, there is no way to tell. One day the stock goes up, and the next straight to hell. Like a game of blackjack where winning streaks turn on a dime. No way of knowing the next card in line. Should have been a long-term investor, much like my ex-wife's ancestors, or that of wealthy corporate raiders that take over companies and breed new cultures. Until then, work won't get you rich. You stay a slave, a tick. You suck blood out of the system, blaming others and always looking for redemption.